Hi, my name is Cheyenne Pettis. For those of you who don't know me, hi. Like I said, hi, my name is Cheyenne Pettis. And for those who do know me, hello. I had some time in between Mason therapy, so we're at a park. I didn't know how I wanted to start this video or really what I wanted to say. But it's been on my mind for the last couple days. And a little disclaimer before I start. If you think that this video, with me explaining the things that have happened, is a disgruntled rainbow girl or somebody who is concerned because she didn't get the office of Grand Worthy Advisor, then you need to rewatch this video, or maybe go reevaluate your life, to be honest, because that's not what this is. This is to highlight the abuse, the alienation, and the defamation of my character that happened while I was a member of the International Order of Rainbow for Girls in South Carolina. I moved to Hartwell in 2013, and I was homeschooled going into middle school, so I really didn't have a lot of social interaction or friends, and so my mom offered me a way to make friends by getting me into Rainbow. For those of you who don't know, Rainbow is a Masonic youth organization for girls. It is a subcategory under the umbrella of the Masonic families. So there's the Masons, Eastern Star, Amaranth, Job's Daughters, which is another female youth organization. And then there's Demolay. There are plenty of more Masonic things under the umbrella, but I don't know all of their names. I'm just naming the most known ones. So I joined Rainbow in South Carolina. My original assembly was in Clemson, and then the Clemson chapter / lodge went dark, I believe, and so we moved to Greenville. The assembly moved to Greenville, not I moved to Greenville. We were still in Hartwell. And so I made the choice to either join an assembly of girls I did not know in Georgia, in Beaufort. Now I know them, Charity Assembly. I quite love them. They're great people. Or stay with the one in Greenville. And I chose the one to stay in Greenville because I knew them. I felt comfortable there. They made me feel at home. And there were things that happened. I did get bullied at one point in my own assembly when I first started. If I had known that was going to be the first warning signs of kind of what was to follow, of the lack of what is the word? The lack of taking responsibility and accountability, and handling an issue from the senior executives in Rainbow, then I probably would have moved at that point in my Rainbow career. But I didn't. I stuck with it. I thought that that was one hurdle to face, because everything was good after that, or so I thought. I have been learning from talking to people who have majoritied since then, who have had issues with Rainbow. There was another girl of color. There actually were several girls of color, but they all got driven away. So me and this other girl, Mackenzie, were the two girls of color. And it was known from a very beginning of our Rainbow career that there were lodges that had Rainbow that didn't take girls of color. So we didn't meet there. It kind of was, we kind of were sheltered from them, from there, by the seniors, because that was the first time they really dealt with this issue, because it was all white, basically, before Mackenzie and I joined. So all in all, the first 7 years were pretty good after that. I went to many places and many opportunities that got offered to me, and I am forever grateful for those opportunities that Rainbow gave me to travel, to meet girls, to make connections. But what they don't tell you and they don't highlight is, for one, to start off with, the incredible depiction that the South jurisdictions have to the other world. Or the other jurisdictions on the West Coast and the North. A lot of times when I would go to travel and I would meet people and I would say, I'm from South Carolina, a lot of people were very surprised and shocked. I guess they had never seen a person of color visit their jurisdiction from South Carolina. Maybe that should have been another red flag. I don't know. So I was very grateful. Forgive me, I'm bad with dates. I had a concussion last year. It was pretty severe. So I don't remember a lot of the dates, but I do remember the things that happened. I went to the Supreme Seminar. The seniors chose me. And it was a really great trip. I was glad to have gone on that experience and to figure out how to make my jurisdiction better in a lot of ways and how to grow. That'll be in a further point later, until I get to let me get to the main meat of the story, I guess is what you want to call it. And then I'll explain why some of those things to me, and some of those things that happened kind of were not only red flags, but it was a lot of games of cat and mouse, I would like to call it, I guess is what you can describe it as, where or a monkey or a dog, you give a dog a bone and then you watch, then you take it away and you watch how they desperately want that bone, and they kind of drool and they're shaking with excitement because they want that bone and they're waiting for you to give it to them. And that is a lot of experiences I had, where I would be dangled and danced around like the token black person, and then to be crapped on and alienated and abused in the end. So over the course of my senior years of Rainbow, when I was heading toward the big M-word majority, as we call it, I had gone through 3 elections, one of which I was not a part of because I was a senior in high school and I did not want to advance, though my parents were asked, and they told me they told them what my wishes were. I'm glad I didn't, because that was right before COVID, and I praise Emily for having the term as Grand Worthy Advisor during that time, because she did absolutely phenomenal despite what happened. Then the next year, I was in Grand Charity, and it was me, another girl from my assembly, Kara, a girl from Dentsville, Kayla, and that's the next year. This election was me and another girl from Goose Creek, Sabrina, and I lost to her. That was okay, because at the end of the day, it was not about losing or winning or getting the office of Grand Worthy Associate Advisor to advance to Grand Worthy Advisor. No. Hold on. Yeah, that's what it was. To Grand Worthy Associate Advisor, to go up to Grand Worthy Advisor. That was not a problem because, okay, God has a plan. It wasn't my time. That's basically my thought process. I was happy for Sabrina. Her and Goose Creek did absolutely phenomenal during her grand year. They were amazing. She was amazing. And it was great to watch her come out of her shell and really become and grow into a really great grand worthy advisor and just grow as a person. That is when things started to get a little weird. I had previous issues with Goose Creek, not because of stuff that I had done. It was actually because of the previous mother advisor, Julie, who they were spreading rumors, I guess. I don't really know that side of everything is quite finicky, because I was younger then, and it was a lot of the adults and stuff, and parts of the story I will never know. Neither will my parents. They were never really explained or talked about. So here came the next year. It was good. I traveled. That year I went to 3 grand jurisdictions. I went to Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama. So I was gone for a month, and I met Sabrina in Tennessee. We had a great time. That was where my opinion really changed, and that was where things really shifted. That they saw that I was not a bad person, I guess, is how you want to say it, and things that got better. In the end, I think Goose Creek and I really, every one of them kind of cleared up whatever had happened, and they saw that I wasn't the person that Julie had painted me as, I guess, is what you could say, from just my perspective of things. This is, again, solely based on my perspective, but these are real things that I did witness and did happen. So, then came the next year. It was an election, with me, my friend Kara, who was in Harmony. Densville had Kayla, and then there was another girl, but I don't remember who that other girl was. I don't know, but there was 4 of us in total. I made it into the second round of the elections. Kayla got it. Kayla was, now, this is where I guess it kind of gets funny, and finicky, because it had nothing to do with the fact that she had gotten that station. It was the fact that they did not look at seniority. So I don't think that she should have ran when this was her second year in the bow. I think that the girls who have been there, who've had 3 grand offices or more, should be eligible to run for Grand Worthy Associate Advisor. That way, the older girls can get the opportunity if they are people who would benefit the jurisdiction, I guess, if that makes sense to me. That's just my logic. Well, during that time, there was a rumor. I did not know of this rumor until after that day, after the elections and everything. And I was crying, not because I was upset, but at the fact that the anxiety was so high, and the fact that Deidre and her little, I guess you'd call minions or people, Angel, really liked to whisper in the corner, and they've done that every election that I've witnessed since I was in Rainbow, maybe even previously to that. I haven't talked to a lot of the older girls who were before me. And I think that it is rigged. I think that the votes say otherwise, and she chooses who she wants. So that's why I think Kayla got it. I was happy for Kayla. You know, she was spunky. I was getting up there. I was, I think, a sophomore, almost a junior in college. So I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, whatever. Until the rumor came out that said I had said that Kayla basically gets everything that she wants, and she's fed with a silver spoon. Now, I don't know if anybody knows the origin of that slang, but it is very old. And an adult who is over the age, I think, of 40 would know the origin, also would say that more than a, I think I was, what, 18, 19-year-old girl. I think they would know more of that than I would. So I did, well, for one, I had a panic attack in my car. when we got back to the hotel, and that happened because I had started to feel shut out and alienated, and people were looking at me and whispering, and there were things. And again, this is purely my perception and perspective of things. But at the same time, I do suffer from social anxiety, and I do get paranoia quite often. But it all kind of fell into truth when I was told that. So I apologized to Kayla, and there were 2 seniors there. My dad was a senior at the time, and Rebecca was a senior at the time. And they let us handle it. They did not get involved. They did not persuade whatever was said. I did apologize. And Kayla talked down to me as if I was scum of the earth. She was very fake, and she was very not nice, basically condescending is the word. So that happened. Cut into probably about a month or 2 before Grand Assembly of the next year. Somebody in Georgia, I know I live in Georgia, but again, somebody in Rainbow in Georgia found Kayla's TikTok, and it was very inappropriate, from what I've heard. I did not see the videos, nor did I watch the videos, because I didn't want to know. I wanted to keep my stuff out of it, because at that point I was getting ready to really not wanting to be involved and just kind of back up, because more stuff had started happening, and more alienation started happening, and more of my treatment of basically, again, dangling things in front of me like a dog, and making me jump around and wag my tail to say, dance monkey dance. And so the person in Georgia took it to my dad, and my dad took it to the seniors. I don't know what had happened there. What I do know is that after the fact that these meetings had happened, I started getting stalked by people from Dentsville. Kayla, Kylie, and Kirsten started stalking me on my social medias. I had likes from them going back as far as a year of my post. I wish I had kept screenshots to have receipts, but I just was so just anxiety filled with the whole situation, and it was just a lot. So that happened, and I found out at Grand Assembly she was taken out of office. And let me go back a little bit. That same, probably about a month later, the same time, another girl from my assembly, and my friend Kara's little brother, Belle and Connor, got together. And I, again, was almost an adult. And I did not like how a 16 and 17-year-old, maybe even a little younger at that time, was talking to me. Because while I am viewed as a girl in Rainbow, outside of that, I am an adult, because I was in college. And I took them off my social medias because I did not like being talked to and disrespected by children, which I think is a valid response. Well, then Belle's mother came, Elise, came to my mother advisor, Kelly, and basically accused me of being jealous of Belle and Connor's relationship, and that's why I took them off social media. At no point did my mother advisor defend me. At no point did she say that was outrageous, that was crazy. I had to find out from her daughter, Kara. So again, do you see the correlation that's happening? At no point have any of these people asked me my side of things. I was not there. I had not been there. I was not called. I was not informed. I wasn't asked my side of the story. None of that happened. I was just basically somebody's scapegoat. And basically, from what I heard after I majoritied, is that the situation with Kayla is that they faulted me because I was a part of the drama, even though I wasn't a part of the drama, and I wasn't the one who took those videos to the senior executives. It was somebody in Georgia, Rainbow. Need I enunciate that anymore? And so I left. I changed assemblies, basically leading up to my majority year. I didn't attend meetings because then I found out that they just put me there to keep that assembly open because that was Deidre A. Hart's, yes, our Supreme Inspector and Supreme Charity. That was her home assembly, and they didn't want to see it die because the last person to majority from there was Emily. And that was their last Rainbow Girl, and they couldn't function without her. Without an active Rainbow Girl, is what I mean. So they didn't even allow color. So I thought I had a place that was going to treat me well and stuff, and then I didn't. And then these adults took Elisa's side and thought I was a pedophile. And if you know me or my parents have been foster parents since I was in 8th grade. I have seen things that would haunt even the most normal person's dreams. I have heard things. I have witnessed things. I have seen a lot of things, and they don't talk about it enough, but there is secondhand trauma that does happen when you deal with people in the foster system that I've gone through therapy with. And so for them to accuse me of being jealous of minors being in a relationship, I was very angry. And I said they were going to have to mail me my majority card. This all happened to the week leading up to my official visit. And so I went because my good friend Ashley and her mother, Michelle, great people. I highly respect them. They are the only reason I stayed as long as I did. I owed her because I made a promise I would serve as that station. And so I did. I went and I did that. Then there was another kind of election, but it wasn't. It was between me and Bethany for Grand Worthy Advisor because Kayla had been taken out. So Bethany got it. At that point, I didn't care. I was done. I was ready. So I served as Grand Drill Leader. And when I'm introduced in other places, I am known as Grand Drill Leader, but I do not say what jurisdiction I am from because I am not proud to be from South Carolina. Because not only did the things that happened of the torment, the alienation, the defamation of my character, where they never asked my opinion, but they let those rumors spread, and they did not at any point try to defend me, see if I was okay. Nobody called. Nobody checked in. And you would think that maybe they would be interested to see why a very active girl who attended every single meeting that she could within her power, unless she was traveling or unless she was having surgery, she attended. And she went to every jurisdiction, had more travel miles than any girl in that state. By the way, I competed with Ashley. I mean, Ashley probably had a little bit more than me, but she came from another jurisdiction, so her stuff doesn't count, okay? Ashley, I'm not calling you out. Anyways, but there was even to the point where I was forced to be, I was forced to be in Drill Leader a lot because that was my favorite station. And so when I was Grand Faith, I got pushed out of my station because, oh, well, Grand Drill Leader's your favorite station, so why don't you get to serve, why don't you sit there? But Grand Faith was my station. So again, they made me basically hate being there and hate being in that station. And there were even proofs that were sent to Deidre about other racist incidents that had happened, and she said nothing. She took my dad out of senior executives because he was defending me and the other girls of color, that he would fight for any of them if he thought that they were eligible to be Grand Worthy Advisor. It wasn't just because I was his daughter. It was because Bethany didn't want it, and he knew that it was going to be a crap show, and it was. All of this to say that I want to share parts of my story, not only to raise awareness for girls of color who may be alienated, but also to bring awareness and to talk about the things behind the scenes that not a lot of people see. And that if a girl comes to you or things have happened to a girl, you get both sides of the story. You don't just stick to one side. You don't just stick to the white side of things, which is what they did. It was never the right side of things. It was the white side of things. And that's what South Carolina did. And so I pray every day for the girls of color that are still in that jurisdiction, that are a part of my assembly, who may be a part of other assemblies, who are facing those same discriminations and alienations and bullying and being dangled around and telling them to dance, monkey, dance. We'll give you this, we'll give you that, which is basically what they did to me. I don't know if those things are happening in other jurisdictions, but I'm sure they are. And so I ask that anybody who is a part of the other jurisdictions who may feel that way should speak up too. Because there is a code or a bylaw in Supreme Assembly that says no girl should be discriminated based on race, religion, or sexual orientation. That my Supreme Inspector, as well as others, signed in to our bylaws in 2020. But yet those things were still looked over and were not handled very well. So if you got to the end of this video and you still think that this is all because I did not get the office of Grand Worthy Advisor and that I am just a title chaser, then you need to go to church, pray about some things, and repent for whatever you've done where you think that you may have harmed somebody just because you think they're a title chaser, when in reality, we're just sharing our stories that nobody wants to talk about. Thank you so much for listening.